So here we are, Avery and Simon from the road, just finishing our 5th round of the 2014 Disc Golf World Championships. Driving some crazy, squirrely little back roads here. And just getting done from Milo. Played 2 pretty awesome courses. Simon had a good day, I had a so-so day. But yeah, just getting back to some questions. We asked you guys on Facebook, asked your best questions, and what we'd like to do from the road. I'd like to, post a few questions on Facebook, and see what our fans really want to know about. Some really cool questions about disc golf or us and personal related kind of things. And what do you got for us, Simon?
Okay, let's go. So actually we came back from Iceland 2 weeks ago, and that was a complete new experience for us. So one question was, what did we think of the disc golf courses in Iceland?
Personally, I think they've got a good thing going. There's 4 courses listed on Disc Golf Course Review in the country of Iceland, and of those courses, there was a couple of those are really, really good. And I think it's just really a developing country. It was really cool to, take part in the whole growth of the country. We did 3 clinics there, a putting clinic and 2 driving clinics, and just really cool to touch base with the disc golf community in Iceland. And I think they just got a really good thing going. And I think they have plans for, 8 to 10 courses in the next year or so. So that's some pretty good progress. And with the growth rate like that, with some good people in charge, I think you're going to see some good things happen in Iceland. And hope to return in the next couple of years and see what they got going on. It was a blast. Had a great time there.
Yeah, everything what you said.
Simon had a great time with just being Iceland itself. It was amazing.
It was really awesome. And yeah, while we were in Iceland, did we try the hot dogs?
We did try the hot dogs.
We did try the hot dogs.
Yeah, I thought those were your favorite, actually.
Honestly, overrated, I would say. I really like junk food, and it wasn't my favorite hot dog ever. So, I don't know. Might be a myth that the hot dogs are so great.
Next time.
Next question. What's my best advice for throwing a putter off the tee? First of all, I would say my advice would be throw a putter off the tee, and then how you throw it is just learning by doing. Just concentrate on a clean release, try the fan grip for putters and for mid-range off the tee, and yeah, just go out and throw your putter and see how far you can crush it.
Yeah, Simon's a huge advocate talking about throwing putters as much as possible, especially during practice rounds to get better at. Just learn how to throw a putter is going to help you and learn to throw other discs a lot cleaner, a lot smoother, a lot more proficiently. As far as throwing a putter off the tee, do realize that putters are not drivers. They're a lot slower flying. You have to throw them a little bit cleaner. You can't throw them as hard as a driver. Plus, you need to give it a little more height to get it there. They're a little slower flying. They float a lot more. They have good glide, good carry. But just realize that you have to throw it a little slower and get a little more height out of it. But also, like Simon said, the more you throw them, the more you get used to them, and the more you want to throw them. Good for up shots, good for short, shots off the tee pad. And learn your putters. Just go out and practice.
Next disc golf question. When playing 2 rounds in one day, how do you keep the focus into the second round?
Well, as we just experienced today, playing 2 rounds at the Milo MacGyver courses. Played the West course first this morning, started about 9 a.m. and just finished with the East course and finished about 6 p.m. right now. Long day of disc golf, both par 60, 61 courses, lots of big par 4s, par 5s, just a lot of big throws, and I could definitely feel myself kind of breaking down and wearing down toward the end. And that's when you got to push the hardest. I know coming down those last 4, 5, 6 holes, I know that's when everybody else is kind of wearing down and getting tired, and that's when I got to push the hardest, and that's when I got to, access some good snacks in the bag and keep on drinking water and really just realize that these last, 3, 4, 5 holes are very important. And I did birdie 2 of the last 3 holes, which I was pretty happy about. So just keep grinding, keep digging deep, and keep going after it.
Yeah, I would say the break in between is really important, how you use that. And we just went for a nice lunch and just basically turned off our brains for 2 hours, and then get back on the course. We play every day, so we're pretty used to playing actually 2 rounds a day. especially me from Germany, every tournament has 2 rounds a day, so I'm very used to it.
Also, Simon says eat healthy lunch. I'll give you a lot more energy for the second round in the afternoon.
So let's go back to back to Europe. What was your fondest memory from your recent trip to Europe? The moment that made you think life is good?
Wow, there's a lot of great moments. We did experience a good 2-month tour. I think by far, wow, I can't even pick out a moment right now. I did fly from the U.S. after the whole spring Deep in the Game tour. Flew from L.A. to Japan, and then Japan all the way to Germany. Did Germany, Czech Republic, Austria, and then hung out there for 2 weeks, and then did Finland for 2 weeks, and Iceland for 5. Wow, I really can't pick one moment. I'll just tell you right now that disc golf in Europe is only getting bigger and better, and I look forward to going back to Europe every summer. And if you haven't been to Europe yet to play disc golf, I say you come out to Europe and make your own fondest memories. But I can't actually select one because there's a lot of great moments, a lot of great experiences, and you need to check it out for yourself.
Yeah, for me, one moment where just life was so good was after one of the rounds of the European Masters. Just Sweden has so many beautiful lakes, and the weather was really nice, and we just drove out to the lake and went for a swim, and then you just look out on the water and see the sunset, see the beautiful trees, and then it's just like everything comes together and it's just beautiful.
Good answer. That was a really good answer.
So, prize winnings are usually pretty low and not nearly enough to live on. With all the traveling and expenses you have, how do you make an honest living?
Great question. Well, I'll tell you right now, we're not getting rich by playing disc golf. None of us are really. But there are some players that are making a pretty good living doing what they do now. And us personally, I've been doing it for the last 15 years. Traveling the world, playing competitions, doing a lot of clinics, teachings, and sponsors help tremendously. I wouldn't be able to do it without my sponsors, especially covering the flights and expenses of accommodations and travel. And that's a bulk of what we spend beyond what we spend on for food and entry fees and such. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it without my sponsors, and it's not cheap. It definitely isn't. But I've worked hard over the years and definitely put in my time to get where I'm at today, and that definitely pays off as far as my accomplishments and my accolades got me to a certain point where sponsors are really taking really good care of me, and I couldn't have done without my sponsors. Innovet, Discmania, Huck Lab, Keen, Grip EQ. Doing it for us on the road and really making it happen. So very grateful for it.
Yeah, everything what you said, and just I don't know. We're not really making an honest living. We always call ourselves like survivors, like the road warriors, and it's just. That's what makes it even more fun, kind of, because we play for our lunches and our dinners, and yeah, we're not rich by any means. We're just getting enough money to make it through the year, and then life goes on.
But we're having a great time doing it, trust me. Having a great time
doing it. Simon, how far can you throw your putter? How far can I throw my putter? I would guess 400.
I was going to be generous, say 425. Yeah, I've seen him catch, many really, really good putter shots with a slight little turnover with a P2 at many of the clinics and demos we do. He can unload on a putter pretty good and he can haul off. He can throw it as really as hard as he wants to, and it really just goes on the capabilities of how fast a putter flies and how far it really carries. But he can max out with a putter about 4 1/4, I would say.
Yeah, I think around 400 somewhere.
Which is really good for a putter. Really good.
So I'm a big supporter of changing the angle of a disc instead of having a lot of different molds in my bag. So the question is, if I would suggest any beginners to build their bag like I do, and I would answer with yes, I would. I'm a big fan of seeing beginners out there
It's a disc that I definitely experiment with a lot and throw a lot. It's slightly slower than a destroyer at this point, so it's more like a Wraith with a little more overstability, but it's a really good controllable high-speed distance driver.
Yeah.
And I think it's very underrated. I think a lot of players would really love to throw a disc like that. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's very controllable and very predictable, and that's what you're looking for in a disc golf.
Yeah, it's like a just slightly slower destroyer, and we see so many great players throwing destroyers, and just, yeah, it's very underrated for sure. I don't see the DD out there a lot. It should be though. So we're going on tour in a couple of weeks, and did we bring any discs for sale?
Yeah, we brought probably about 2,000 discs with us this time. So if you guys are looking for discs on the road and you see the motorhome, come hit us up. We got all the Discmania gear, all the Discmania bags, all the Discmania discs. Come check them out. We're a traveling pro shop over here.
Yeah, a lot of plastic right here. Traveling heavy. Let's do two more.
Two more it is.
Okay, which courses in the world do you recommend as a must-have play?
I would say the two courses we just got, finished playing, Milo MacGyver are my favorite courses on the planet. And it plays very well, plays very long. There's some really good holes out there. I like the switch up between the par 3s, 4s, and 5s. Some longer holes, some shorter holes, some open holes, some tighter holes, a little bit of elevation. It's got a lot of everything, and it's got a lot less distractions than most courses we play. You're out in the woods. You got tee pads, you got baskets, you got big trees, you got a river, you got some birds. It's just really peaceful. It's pure, and it's the way disc golf needs to be played. They take a really good care of this course. Nice tee pads, nice baskets, and very ideal. Milo MacGyver, that's definitely something you can check off the list.
Yeah, for me, what's really important for a great course is how pretty it is. Like, a hole can be as simple as it is, but if it looks pretty, I love the hole. And the two courses, the Milo MacGyver courses, are just very pretty, so I really like those courses. And they're also challenging, so those two are for sure a must play if you're into traveling and playing a lot of courses. Other than that, probably Stockholm, the Järva Disc Golf Park, very pretty course. Should play that for sure. When you're in the airport traveling, do you get funny looks for carrying a disc golf bag?
Good question. Yeah, it seemed like it over the last 10 years or so, it's become a little more people have been a little more aware of what you're doing. I remember like 15 years ago when I first started traveling and flying to a lot of different tournaments, that you'd always get questioned and asked what you're carrying. Disc golf bag, we'd always carry them on the plane. Never want to leave your disc golf bag and get it checked. You always want to have it with you as a carry-on, for those who are going to ask that question. But you put it through the scanner, a lot of people would think you're traveling with plates or some kind of dog frisbees, or ask where your dog is, and you get some really odd questions. And over the last 5-6 years, people are becoming more aware of what disc golf is, especially if I'm traveling through the same kind of airport. Time and time again, they'll ask you, where are you going, where are you playing this weekend? My buddy plays, my family plays, I play. There's more people that know about disc golf, and they're more aware about disc golf over the last 5-6 years, I would say. And it's becoming better. It's good to see. Very happy about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're getting funny looks. We're just getting noticed about it, and people talk to us about it because they like disc golf. And the only thing I would say is that when you get through this laser control thing, when you put the bag,
it's a scanner.
It's a scanner, yeah.
X-rays.
Yeah, then it used to always, I had to open my bag and get all my discs out, and they wanted to know what it is. But this year I've been on 10 flights, and they've not done it once. So
good for you.
That's about it.
So with that, thanks to everybody that responded to the Facebook post and asked your questions. Hope I got to your question at least. If not, we're going to be doing a lot more of these throughout the summer. After the World Championships, Simon's flying back to Europe, back to Switzerland, playing the European Championships, go defend his title, go take it down again, defending champ, reigning champ. And then coming back into the States, and we're starting the whole Deep in the Game Northern Tour. We're doing like 10 clinic stops, 7 tournaments along the way, including the USDGC, and traveling throughout the whole northern states, up in Canada, the Northeast, and back down the East Coast. So we'll be doing a lot more of these from the road. These question and answer sessions are great. Hope you guys like them, and see you guys around.